the 1700s, the century which saw the birth of Adam Weishaupt's Illuminati secret society flourished throughout Europe, a new grimoire was published. It has become known as the Grand Grimoire of the Red Dragon. Just as we see in the tapestry of Angers, the Red Dragon is a symbolic representation of the spirit of the devil. First written by Antony, the Jewish rabbi of Venice, the Grand Grimoire of the Red Dragon is a book of black arts which is a synthesis of previously oral, very secret teachings handed down from one rabbi to the other. The Red Dragon Grimoire is almost exclusively dedicated to instructing rabbis on how to invoke demonic forces. Rabbi Antonio de Veneziana claims the book was originally written by King Solomon, who is also credited with having written the Goetia, which describes how to summon any one or all of 72 demons in the hierarchy of hell. The Grimoire of the Red Dragon gives distinct instructions on how to make a pact with Satan. The text shows rabbis how to summon the spirit of a demonic spirit called Lucifuge Rufakal, who is none other than the Prime Minister of Hell.
Hayet Nebet, Henemet Nebet, Jedefuet F, Awet F, Aset, Semawu M Sanuet.
Many authors believe that the pact with the Prime Minister of Hell was originally devised in texts written or commissioned by King Solomon, and it was, up until the making of this film, one of the closest guarded secrets of the Hebrew Kabbalists. During the 1700s, the Grimoire of the Red Dragon was avidly read by the elite of Europe and the Americas. Many magicians and rabbis were hired in order to make pacts with the devil and Lucifuge Rufakal. The Grimoire of the Red Dragon indicates that if you serve the devil, then the rabbis following the rules of the pact will be rewarded with knowledge of where buried treasure can be found. This treasure is obviously symbolic. The Grimoire of the Red Dragon inspired the stories of Dr. Faustus, who was actually a real historical character. Dr. Faustus was a paedophile magician who used children in black magic sex rituals. Dr. Faustus had patrons amongst the royalty and nobility of Europe. In the year 1509, a German magician, Henry Cornelius Agrippa, wrote 3 books of occult philosophy. He explains the importance of interacting with the spirit of the earth. He explores the techniques of the Kabbalah, sacred geometry, spirit divination, and then describes how to have psychic, telepathic conversations with angels. Through the publication of his 3 books of occult philosophy, Henry Cornelius Agrippa became a favoured magician at the royal courts of Europe. In his writings, Agrippa summarizes his duties to the royal elite of Europe when he wrote, "My task is to summon spirits who will defend kingdoms, discover the secret knowledge of men, to increase riches, to foretell future events, and to see and know things done in many miles off." By the 1500s, the magical texts of Arabia and the Kabbalah were in the hands of magicians advising the royal court of England. Elizabethan magician and spy John Dee was born in 1527. John Dee wrote many diaries listing the rituals and ceremonies which he performed in order to have conversations with angels and demons. John Dee was astrologer royal to Queen Elizabeth I and used the same magical grimoire texts as the Knights Templar. Dee kept a giant library of occult books which originated in ancient Babylon and Egypt. Between 1581 and 1583, John Dee wrote 5 books of mysteries. These are now preserved at the British Museum. John Dee's mystery books are concerned with a special system of magic known as heptarchia, and how to contact the 7 archangels who stand before the throne of God. Each archangel is actually one of the 7 known planets, with each planetary angelic spirit having its own 7 subdivisions. John Dee designed what he called a holy table, onto which he mapped the angelic names and the 7 subdivisions of the astral planes on each planet of the known solar system. A special talisman rests at the center of Dee's holy table, which contains the stylized names of spirits. This wax tablet is called the Sigillum Dei Ameth, which is Latin for seal of truth. Upon the wax sigil tablet, Dee placed a glass prism or crystal ball so that visions of the angelic planetary spirits could actually be seen. The spirits dictated immense amounts of information to John Dee and his psychic collaborator Edward Kelly. Edward Kelly was a psychic medium, and the two of them engaged in reanimating dead corpses, a form of magic known as necromancy, and they attempted to transmute metals into gold, an ancient magical art called alchemy. 2 entire books of spirit messages were dictated to Dee and Kelly, called the Book of Logeth and the Book of the Speech from God. The spirits spoke in a strange language which John Dee called Enochian. The spirits told Dee the magical sounds and words by which God himself created the universe. Between May the 28th, 1583 and September the 7th, 1607, John Dee and Edward Kelly started to receive very specific information from spirits, which included instructions on how to build a great table of the earth. This occult device was used in conjunction with specific magical sounds known as keys, which summoned spirits to Dee and Kelly. The spirits explained that planet Earth was divided into 48 regions, and each region was governed by a planetary spirit. John Dee informed his employer, Queen Elizabeth I, that any country of the world could be placed under their command simply by invoking the spirit which resided in that particular part of the world. The royal political elite, such as Emperor Rudolph and Elizabeth I, employed John Dee to summon the spirits. According to John Dee, the spirits summoned using the grimoire texts recommended creating a new world order, where the armies and navy of Great Britain were sent out to conquer the Americas, India, Southeast Asia, and Australasia. It is true to say that the global superstate now planned by the United Nations, European Union government, otherwise known as the New World Order, is a plan which was inspired by demons and spirits originally conjured in the Elizabethan era by Dr. John Dee. John Dee wrote a manifesto for world domination, which became the single goal of the elite, a plan to enslave the world into a psychic dictatorship and to create a single one-world government ruled from Britain using magic.